Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome along to your Tuesday night fix on Twitch, brought to you by One Hub Racing. It's season number 3 here on ACC, and just like the previous two, it's turning into an absolute corker. And tonight, yeah, you all can see it on screen, Mount Panorama multi-class racing. There is a bit of an error on screen actually. It does say that Chromedix and Jess are on tonight. I am neither of those, as you could probably tell, but one of them is joining us tonight, and I can tell you I'm very, very, very excited that the two of us are working together once again. It is a leading light in ACC commentary, and of course here at One Hub herself, it is Miss Jessica Ball. How are we doing this evening, Jess?
Well, this track is going to be a challenge, isn't it, tonight, John, for the drivers, and I'm really glad to be here to witness it all. Last week, we were at Zandvoort, the sprint races happened, 2 different winners for the GT4s, and 1 winner, a debutant actually, for the GT3. So the drivers have got to change mindset now to not 2 sprint races, but 1 overall race, 60 minutes once again. We'll be back with the sprint races later on in the season, but we're heading back to normal here as well. But yeah, the drivers who haven't had much experience on ACC are going to find this a challenge, but there's some drivers that are looking pretty quick already, so should be fun.
Indeed it should, indeed it should. As you say, some of the drivers are looking very quick up at the top of the track, times that I can only dream of. As you mentioned, it was a double header at Zandvoort last week, 2 30-minute sprint races, which gave us, as you say, a debutant from, yeah, just the dream debutant start for one driver, Mr. Iris the Bulldog, and yeah, 2 separate winners in the GT4s. We've got Misano next week and another double header in Barcelona to come, Oulton Park, and of course the hour-and-a-half endurance at Paul Ricard at the end of the season. Let's just have a quick look, if I can. There we go. This is the results. Oh no, that's it's changed back again. Technology, you've got to love it. There we go. The GT3s. The guys will be out on track qualifying very shortly. They're just finishing up in practice. Last week's race results, though, as we can see in the GT3s, we did mention them there. Iris the Bulldog took top honours all the way, winning both races. Michael Gallo coming second in race number 1, and APX Rogue rounding out the podium there. Camel Babbo and Milden just missing out. Their ERT teammate Samba down in 7th, Fox down in 8th. In race number 2, it was As You Were on the top spot, Iris the Bulldog in the Bentley. ERT Samba with a great comeback drive in race number 2 found himself on the podium with Floppy Fox making his way up to 3rd. ERT Milden again with an improvement, and Rogue with a drop in positions. What that's done for the GT3 standings, it's left Rogue at the top by 4 points. As we can see, 3 trips on to the podium. Samba still holding on to 2nd place. He's 4 points behind Rogue with a point on Floppy Fox. Milden definitely still in the hunt, and so is Michael Gallo. And there's Iris the Bulldog, 6th in the championship after only taking part in those 2 races. Is he going to be one to watch? I think it's a safe bet to say yes. Let's have a quick look. This is going to... Oh, nope. What have I done wrong there? There we go, there we go, there we go. Technology, Jess, it's all going in the way of the pair at the moment. But yeah, the GT3s, that was Iris the Bulldog. That was absolutely quite the entrance he made, and he really is a championship contender, even though he's only taken part 3 weeks in.
Yeah, I got to agree. I was looking at his performances last week, and to be honest, usually debutants in ACC and One Hub Racing take a while to settle in, but he hit the ground running as well, and there was a gap, I think, between somebody else and Sambo, I believe, by 0.6 of a second, and then the Bulldog actually beat him by 0.03 of a second. It was quite close, actually, in qualifying. I will see how he is in Bathurst, because Bathurst is a completely different track on the other side of the world. It's kind of like the Monaco down under, as it were, due to the narrow walls, but you know, just because you won at one track, it doesn't mean that you could win at a different track. But we'll see if he can replicate what he did last week. He only has 1 chance to do it, of course, but there's a lot of fast GT3 drivers that can do it. We'll find out how the GT3s do a little bit later on, because right now on track, the GT4s are doing their qualifying session.
Are indeed. They're just leaving the pitch there. We'll have a quick rundown of the GT4 Championship then. We can see at the top Mr. One Hub ACC specialist himself, Car Mentalist, has never been off the podium. Neither is the driver in second, Philip Bodal. We're expecting this one to go down the wire, as well as ERT Arnold, showing some serious pace last week as well, backing up his Snetterton podium with a double podium himself in the double sprint races. ERT Eddie found himself on the podium at Laguna, but 2 ninths at Zandvoort. See him tumble down the table just that little bit. Badgerman and Rageman showing the absolute personifications of consistency with 7ths and 8ths, and of course the double 6 for Bowers Khalifa, 4th in both races. And yeah, as you say, Bodal managed to take second in Car Mentalist either side of him, first and third. Car Mentalist doing Car Mentalist things, Jess.
Well, to be honest, not really that surprised, and he's actually enjoying the GT4s better than he thought, to be honest. But Bathurst is going to be even a bit more of a challenge because he hasn't picked up the GT4 car around this track at all. He's only driven the GT3 around here, so he could find it a bit of a pickle at first. But if he actually goes on and wings this thing, he shows he can absolutely adapt to any car that throws his way. And speaking of Badgerman and Rageman, you actually talked them briefly in the championship there. They were being called to the rivalries this week as part of media evening last night. They were grilled by the press, and the media said both had similar traits, and their gamer tags are almost anagrams of each other. They thought.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, they are actually.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
Without, there's no B there in Rageman, unfortunately. Otherwise, it would have been a proper.
Oh, of course,
anagram.
yes.
Yeah, but almost. It just needs to be, and it'll be absolutely fine.
Yep.
But Badger was asked, "You have the better season up till now, but why will this trend continue until the end of the season?" And he said, "Not gonna lie, there's been a moment or two where I've probably become the real Rage Man." I love it. I hope this trend will continue. At the end of the day, I'm just trying to do my best, and I think my experience helps me a lot. I've been in the shoes of the GT3s before, as the faster class in a multi-class race where I participated in LMP during a few 24 hours of Le Mans races back in the late 2000s. Now that explains how old he is. So knowing how they think...
Easy, Tiger. Let's remember who you're in the commentary box for.
well, I get on with him well, but he's probably going to have a go at me tomorrow. So
oh yeah, I hope so.
After I said that.
Age is just a number.
Yeah, age is just... There's no barrier to it either as well, but being able to adjust to it in journey, having more experience in endurance racing tends to help me in the long run, which it definitely does, because we all know it certainly is in the pace. And Rageman was asked, why are you about to start to show Badgerman what you're all about and show him how to finish the season? And Rageman said, I don't know actually. I'll try to give my best and see what comes out. And I'm here to learn to get better with the GT4 because that is my main problem at the moment. Because Rageman was in the GT3s last season, and Rageman in his pre-race interview says he does not like Bathurst. So yeah, gonna be quite tricky for him. We'll go through the GT3 rivalries once we head to the GT3s a bit later, but yeah, that was our rivalries for this week, John.
Indeed it is. We've been on board with Car Mentalist. Yeah, why not? He is very quick in the GT4. He's out qualifying at the moment. He is in the Porsche. He's about to set a lap. He's coming along is there a part of this track that isn't world famous? It's the Conrod Straight. The only part of the track that has been changed, of course, this chicane. The one put in primarily, unfortunately, due to loss of life back in the day, but it's definitely sorted it out now. I mean, and you can tell it's an Australian track on the left there. The pit entrance, who puts a track up a mountain, covers it in walls, and then has a chicane on the pit entrance. Here we see him coming around at Murray's Corner along the pit straight. Corner number 1, turn number 1, of course, Hell Corner. Seems slightly ironic considering the right-hander that comes after. He's just done a 2:16.9. Philip Bodal 2:16.7, and he's got himself a bit of time. So let's watch him coming along the mountain straight. He's going to come into Quarry Bend and up towards the cutting, or as us commentators like to call it, Concertina Bend. because it's very easy for a concertina effect to happen. As you can see, it's almost like Kailami here. It invites 2, potentially 3 wide in, but you're definitely only getting 1 wide up the hill. Angel's Fear to tread in this left-hander. We may see it move. The concertina effects usually start here. Ooh, bit of a clip of the wall. Definitely want to be much closer to the left-hand side there. Again, it's curb, lift, and foot down. Get to the curb, bit of lift, foot down, and round the corner we go. That is the cutting. Successfully navigated down into Griffin's Mount and through Reed Park. And this hill, with its elevation and undulation changes, really can throw the weight of the car in any number of directions that you do not expect, as we see Carmental is bringing it down through Skyline, past McPhillamy Park. So down through the S's and into the Dipper he comes. Again, so easy to just carry too much pace into here, into the braking zone, Forest Elbow. And that really is a tennis elbow there. He sneaks his way around though and back onto the Conrod Straight. He's got 7/10 in the pocket, and he's going to need it because Thomas Cesar with a 2:15.7 is leading the way, with ERT Arnold only 18 hundredths behind Philip Bodal. Second off the pace now. There is... car slowed down. We could probably get confirmation of who that is. That was Badgerman actually. 1.4 off his own pace. We'll bring that back up again. Carmental's got 7/10 in the pocket. This would put him... Oh, Philip Bodal's just gone quicker. He was doing a lap, obviously, just ahead. He's 2/10 off the pace, so that's a 2:15.9. So 3 drivers under the 2:16. Is Carmental's going to join them? Not quite. 2:16.1 Jess, but only half a second separating the top 4 with a few to come. These GT4s are going to be inseparable round here.
Yeah, a bit closer than I thought between the top 4, and an unfamiliar face that we don't see as often at the top, Thomas Cesar. So great to see him there on the top of the timing sheets as well. And he's gone even quicker. He was at 2:15.7. He's gone at 2:15.2. So, John, he means business here around here. And I think our mentalist was saying, or someone was saying from the GT4s from their pre-race interviews, that this guy is quick. Actually, Eddie was the one who said it. That he thinks Thomas has similar pace than Eddie. And so probably he'll have some fights tonight. And also, Eddie pointed out that Khalifa would be quite fast as well. Eddie hasn't set a lap time though, so he needs to pick up the pace a little bit. He only has about a minute or so to cross the line to do one final lap if he wants to before the GT3s have a go as well. And Carmentalus was thinking about this race, about his mentality. Last week was all about pace and just making sure that you get to the end, because you don't have to do pit stops last week. This week he's been focusing on raw to being clean and timing his pit stop right, and he's putting more focus on adjusting to the race and what's happening around him, really. So, because obviously you've got to think about the strategy this week more than last week, and obviously Carmentalus not used to being in 4th position, but he's been in 4th and 3rd before, hasn't he? And he's still won the race, so still can easily be done as he goes down the hill as well. Eddie's set a lap time, 3.7 off the pace, so that is not good at all. I'm trying to see if there's any other GT4s on track. Rage Man hasn't set a lap, neither has Badger Man either. I believe there's only, I think there's only 9 GT4s tonight. I'm not entirely sure, but I'll need to double check on that. As his comments, it's gone even quicker. He comes towards the line. He improves to P1, a first man into the 2:14s, John. Can anyone beat him?
Spicy, spicy, spicy. We're going to see Thomas Cesar. Could he instantly throw the ball straight back into Carmentalist's court? They've got 13 seconds, so he is going to get another lap. He's one of the few drivers that is going to get another lap. We've still got car number 22 flying along the Conrod Straight. So that lap will count. Thomas Cesar does go a bit quicker, but ooh, and he's binned turn 1. So he did have a chance for another lap there, and not to be straight back to the garage. Carmentalist then, provisional pole. There's yellow flags on the way up the mountain. Hi to everyone in the chat, by the way. I've only literally just got access, as you can see me typing away. So apologies if I have missed anyone in the chat. Do feel free to type in again. I can say hello. I can see Jess is just typing in there as well. See, the multitasking genius. This is why this woman is a goddess when it comes to commentating, and every commentator in the world needs to be taking notes. Speaking of taking notes, though, we should probably just jump on board and take notes at Car Mentalist. Doesn't know the car well, getting used to a new class. Just, yeah, absolute fake news. I think he is absolutely bossing. Oh, he has hit the wall. He really did push that there, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. There is a corner where you got to go close to the wall, but not that close, Car Mentalist. So, yeah, that's his lap done, but it doesn't matter because he's on pole position anyway. So, yes, and I'm just trying to see.
Khalifa coming across the line doesn't improve. Eddie is going to come back in the pits. He missed the chase there on his last go around, and Badger Man is still on a lap. He's coming along the Conrod straight. The GT3s are out on track. They're still finishing their out laps because this is a fairly long lap. Even the GT3s are going to be lapping somewhere around I seriously don't think we'll see anyone go under 2 minutes, but now I've said that, there'll be quite a few drivers willing to prove me wrong. There we go. Too much honey in the tea. Let's see Badger Man come round the last corner. Murray's Corner, of course, named after the Australian rather than the British tennis player. Scottish tennis player, sorry. I can't believe I just said that. Anyway, Scottish tennis player.
Oh, they're going to hate you now.
Oh, wow, I hate myself. That's how bad that is. But Badger Man goes 6th there, and he manages to set a time. 3.6 off the pace, but it is Car Mentalist sews up another pole position with a 10th over Arnold. Another podium perhaps. Philip Bodal, second in the championship, finds himself a second off qualifying and 7/10 off his second row partner Thomas Cesar. There is Philip there. Khalifa in 5th, side by side with Badger Man. ERT Eddie is going to be side by side with the Rage Man. Can we see Eddie put together another storming race performance? Get himself back on one of the podiums that he's already had. Aid F1, how we doing? Welcome. Looking forward to the race. Who are you cheering on? Who do we think going to win? What cars do we think are going to do well around here? We've got a good mix. 3 Bentleys, of course. A couple of BMWs, a lot of Porsches, obviously, in the GT4s. But we do have the Ferrari, the Lambo. I know does well around here on PC, given my recent commentary experience. Fly Sky and Corrado, they could well be surprise packages in the McLaren if they could keep those things going. And Milden in the floppy in the wall, and that's his first crack at a flying lap as well. That is a painful one round here. Oof, he's on a 1 lap shootout now, potentially too. Who was I going to? Milden as well. Now was Milden, he's in the M6 BMW, isn't he? Is he in the old?
He's in the BMW, yes.
Which one? Is he in Samba for pole? Ooh. Says ERT Samba for pole position.
He's an ERT driver.
The Fox took him out of the wall.
Of course he'll be supporting the ERT drivers, which are one of our partners for ACC and F1. So a massive thank you to them. They're also partnering the Going Gets Tough Award again for this season. You need to create all your media day stuff, which is your pre and post race interviews, and finish outside the top 3 in your respective class. And speaking of ERT, we got an ERT1, well, we had an ERT1-2, Apex Rogue. Our championship leader is currently quicker with a 203.234 on Irish the Bulldog. Last week's race winner is showing that he could be quick around here. Not quite pole position, but just look at the gap. 6,000 separating the top 2. I imagine that's going to be quite close between the top 2. And it is the no M4s in this version yet. Thank you, Dexter, for clearing that up. Floppy Fox was on a lap, but he's had another trip to the wall, and he's gone through another wall, and his car looks like he's damaged, so he's probably going to go into the pits. He was called in the driver's press conference, and the press have been grilling him, saying his driving has not been at his best at the moment, and they asked, would that still have happened if you're in a better class of car? And Floppy asked, there are other cars more suited to the tracks chosen, but I do what I can in the Ferrari. So there we go. So that was his answer. And the GT4 class representative was Bowers, but he's not here tonight. So there we go. And we'll go through the rivalries in just a minute. We have got Floppy Fox, who's going through the Comrade Straight now. We'll see what time he can set.
Well, this is going to be another outlap.
Oh, it's outlap.
Yeah, because he crashed with 6 minutes to go, this is still going to be an outlap for him. So he's going to cross the line and then get to set a time. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, this is going to be a 1 or 2 lap shoot, unless he does look like he's still got damage on the car. So I wonder if he did teleport. But I'm 90% sure this is still an outlap for the Fox.
It's gonna be a flying lap. He probably will cross the line, but it won't be a representative lap. No, it
isn't. Still an outlap. Yep. Yeah. So he had to return to the garage and then come back out. So he will get 2 laps with 3 minutes 50 still on the clock. Oh, Samba! I was about to say he's only 45 hundredths off pole position. And Aid, you may be spreading a slice of the ERT bias, but you spread it right. Oh, Bulldog! He's just gone 3/10 quicker. Why is everybody left?
Goodness.
Oh, there's only 10 people now. Where's it? Everyone's run off. Was it someone that said Jess?
I've
there we go.
Disconnected as
okay.
well.
Okay, let's. Nothing to see here. It's all good.
I thought it was just me. I thought it was my internet, but.
No. So it looks like, ladies and gentlemen, Double Raven's going to be taking to the track very shortly.
Oh my goodness.
We've got Iris and Fly Sky left. Oh no, there we go. Iris has just done a full ET. Oh, there we go. Connection failure. Just to confirm. So we will. Look at everyone's favourite one hub commentators, that's Jess and Chromedix. As you can see, it's the round 4 Mount Panorama. As everyone on ACC knows, there's updates galore because the game has been so well supported by the developers up until this point in time. There has been an update released for the PS5 version, so that may be causing a slight issue. Let's just see if we can get the server back up. I'm still connected to the game servers.
I've just reconnected. So
excellent.
That is frustrating, but the good thing is, I think when they go in, it saves their time. So if they've set a lap time, it should save their time. But the ones who've just come in and not set a lap time, I think they'll be starting near the back, which is not ideal. So I think it might just be a problem. I don't even know who we hired a service from, but it might just be a little bit of an outage there, and so nothing we could do. So they got 2 minutes to do it. Good chance to talk about Media Day again, about Apex Rogue's answer, about his incidents he was involved in. You need to be more careful on track rejoining. But what do you say to Michael, who has also been called to the stewards? To ensure there isn't a repeat trip to the stewards this week, and he said he did do that much wrong. I thought our incident was a racing incident. I was round the outside, I got left no space, but he didn't have to give it. I thought he was leaving space until the last second. He broke just a bit too early compared to me, so that's just probably leaving too much space, to be honest, and then boom, they hit the walls and stuff like that. So hopefully we can get every single driver back in, because otherwise that's wondering what's going to happen. I think they're going to still carry on regardless. So if they're not in, they're not going to race. So Dexter is trying his hardest, bless him. So who are we missing? We're missing 2 drivers. I'm trying to figure out who that is. Who was in? It was Badgerman and somebody else. Might be Arnold's in there. Who's missing? Do you know who's missing apart from Badgerman? Well, Corrado? No, he's here. Yes, he is. Apex in. Well, Michael's not here tonight. Irish Bulldog's in. Rogue's in. Cambabo's in. Milden's in. Samba is in. Floppy Fox is in. Jason. Fly Sky. No, all the GT3s are in. It's just one. We're missing one GT4 at the moment, or 2 GT4s. let me actually get the standings up so I know who we're missing. So GT4s are waiting on you. So if you're not in the lobby, get in there. Oh, Gallo. Oh, the races start. Oh, can they join? Can Badgerman join or Gallo join? There's a car. There's a car. I don't know. The number 20. That's Badgerman who's trying to join. Sponsors.
Oh my goodness me, I've been on mute for quite a while now.
So they heard me, but they didn't
Yes,
hear
they
you.
didn't hear me. They didn't hear me. Goodness gracious me. Oh wow, that's what happens when you're a tad under the weather. Got a bit of a tickle in the throat there. I was having a cough. I never unmuted myself on Streamlabs. Here we go. We'll crack on. It is the sponsors, Mental Health Foundation, all the One Hub Racing, all brought to you by the support of the sponsors. So thank you very much, Mental Health Foundation. It's always good to talk. Get yourself some help if you need it. Their website is a great place to get that type of help that you can need to get yourself back on track. Streamlabs is being fun again. Of course, Vespertine as well, another one of the sponsors. They partner with Vespertine and support championship prizes. You can now find all the races as well on SimGrid. So jump on there, get yourself a profile, get yourself signed up to the races. Of course, Next Level Racing sponsor the league by providing a DD stand to the driver who gets the most Driver of the Day awards in the F1. We've got Free M Sim Racing as well, who sponsor the league by providing a pair of their sim racing gloves. And of course, everyone's favourite Dexter and the gang, ERT, sponsor. Yes, sponsor the Go and Get Tough Award. Did you say there was someone else on the Go and Get Tough Award as well?
No,
Jess.
just ERT.
It is ERT. Yeah, okay, there we go. And I hit drive. We're on my Iris to Bulldog. Yeah, I totally fluked that. I'm not going to lie. I was too busy reading the sponsors. I've got to jump on board because obviously spectator mode is fun.
Oh yeah,
to
I
start
need to do that as well. I haven't done it in so long. Haven't done it since.
Yep. So much fun. So much fun. But we've got it easy tonight, Jess. You and I. 4 o'clock in the morning this one's starting. Wow. I didn't read that properly. I thought it was 4 in the afternoon.
Just like the 12 hours of Bathurst, it's starting
yes.
So it's, I think what Dex is saying, I think it's replicating the 12 hours of Bathurst progression, but I might be wrong. I might be wrong, but we'll have to double check that. A big quick reminder of the rules, because it's been a while since we've done the 60 minutes. 1 mandatory pit stop for all the drivers tonight for fuel and the tyres. So that's what they need to do. And there's going to be a pit window halfway into the race. Well, it can be before, but there will be a pit window that pops up. If they get damaged before the pit window, that means it still won't be the count towards their mandatory stop, and they'll still have the number 1 as shown on the screen. And you'll basically have to take another stop once the pit window is open. But if you get damaged when the pit window is open, that will still count towards your stops as well. Yeah, that's just a quick reminder. And in the driver's briefing today, a few things to watch out for, especially the nature of Bathurst. That they've got to keep the tyres into a good tyre pressure and temperature, and of course make sure that they only let the GT3s through in terms of the GT4s, not in narrow corners like down the hill towards the back near the barriers. Don't let them through there as long as there's space. Just use your common sense when you're letting drivers through, to be honest, because you don't want to ruin not just your race but the GT3 races as well. So they've been advised to respect the blue flags at all times. Multiplier is on 6 according to Dexter, time 6, so not quite 12 hours I don't think, unless I might be wrong.
No, well no, if it's time 6 so it'll be 6 hours they'll be going through. That is quite the cycle. So yeah, they're definitely going to have to be on their toes. The track temperature is definitely going to change, and so are the lighting conditions. We're certainly going to see the drivers separated from the skivers this evening. We're on board by Iris the Bulldog, another pole position. He said last week in the post-race interview that he hadn't had much practice at Bathurst. Yeah, I think we could nail him to the wall as a serious championship contender now, given that he's just taken pole position ahead of some very quick drivers. Got to feel for Michael Gallo. He has managed to rejoin, but it looks like he's going to have to start from the pits. He's shown as 19th at the moment, so Rogue promoted, Camo Baba, all the GT3s promoted by a position at the expense of Michael, it would seem. There we go. We can actually get that. This is GT3s, and why is there no listing for the GT4s? Are the GT4s still on track? Yeah, they are 18 cars. So I'm not getting a listing for the GT4s at the moment, but we'll see what happens at the start of the race. It is going to be an interesting one. How do you think this one's going to play out, Jess? The GT4's Car Mentalist leading the way, and Iris the Bulldog leading the way. Do you think these two can take pole position and go to the checkered flag for the wins each?
Well, they already took pole position. They got to do one step better, really, to be honest. And well, they taken the wins at least one last week, with the Bulldog taking 2 last week. So I think they could possibly do it. But Samba has done a race around here on the PC around Bathurst recently, and according to Dexter, he's looked quite quick. So don't count out Samba for this race victory. He's going to give Irish the Bulldog a run for his money, and also don't count out our championship leader as well for that. I'm literally very excited. The change on it, and also the GT4s, they're going to be quite unpredictable as well, with the likes of Arnold, who won a race. He was the first different winner in the GT4s this season, apart from Car Mentalist. So there we go. But there are some other quick, like Philip Bourdal, for example. He was looking quick, and I'm always trying to remember who's in the GT4s. Eddie as well on his day, and Floppy Fox. He needs to have a turnaround, but let's get ready for the start, John.
Here we go then, round Murray's Corner. They come on the warm-up lap, and we're going to be on board with pole position sitter Iris the Bulldog. It's going to be all changed. There's the green lights, and they are go into turn number 1, and it's Samba already looking to make a move. Oh, and the Audi of Rogue takes second position very comfortably with a beautiful open and move lap, and I don't think he's done there as they come along the bottom straight. He is definitely looking to go around the outside. The Porsche is going to follow through on the slipstream. They've left the rest of the pack absolutely standing. If these three get up to the top of the mountain in one piece, it is absolutely game on between the three of them. The Porsche not close enough in the braking zone. The Audi all over the back of that Bentley, then showing great early pace on those cold tyres. They are so cold. Oh, big breath in from Jess there as we watch the lead drivers up at the top of the cutting.
I'm just trying to go on board with our GT4s. I think Arnold has taken the race lead from Car Mentalist. Yes, he did. It was a brilliant move as well. That's why I was going, because it was so tight. They were going side by side through turn 2 to be careful to avoid the curb. And Arnold made the move stick, and that had to be said, that was absolutely beautiful move. So he is now your race leader for the GT4s as well. As I don't know what's happened to Floppy Fox. He's dropped.
He didn't get a time set. He didn't get a time set, so he started at the back.
So he's got to get past all these GT4s, which is easier said than done. So about 10 seconds slower, but this is actually 4th position as well. Corrado's looking quite. Is Corrado out of position as well?
Yes, he is. He didn't set a time. Correct.
Yeah, he didn't set a time either. So
neither did. And Michael Gallo started at the back, one of the quickest drivers on the grid. He's down in 13th behind Philip Bourdal at the moment. I think actually, although that timing board might not be quite accurate, but coming along the corner on straight, this floppy Fox in the foreground, just behind GT4 leader Arnold. Car Mentalist is tucked in there as well, and bringing up the rear of this is Michael Gallo, and that is some seriously respectful drive in between all of the drivers, as you would expect. The GT3s on, there we go, the GT4 just pops up the inside. He'll get himself another couple of cars there as well. That McLaren, so that is Corrado tucked in there as well. He's going to pop his way past another one of the GT4s as these drivers look to catch up. Samba, who did have a race here at the weekend, I was lucky enough to preside over said race, dropping off the pace ever so slightly. These two definitely inseparable up at the front of the GT3s though, and it is Rogue and Iris the Bulldog absolutely hovering at their own way on lap number 2, coming up the mountain. And yeah, they'll be coming down the mountain when they come, as they fly up the mountain at the moment. The Audi keeping the Bentley very honest indeed as they come down through Skyline once again. 2:05 for an opening lap. You can see Samba just in the background there, and these three, it has to be said, 3.7 seconds back to Milden, Jess. So these three, I did say they got an absolute flyer out of turn 1, and they really have taken this race by others. As we can see, the gap between Samba and Milden increasing now, almost 5 seconds, and yet there's only 2 seconds between the top 3.
Yeah, this is very tight as well. I said those were the drivers to keep an eye on. The Bulldog, Apex, both Samba and Milden as well. Biggest surprise though has got to be Fly Sky. I mean, he hasn't, well, he only got last place in the first race in Zandvoort, didn't finish the second race. He's in 5th at the moment, and to be fair, that's very impressive for him as well. And the guy not doing many races this season, to be fair, weren't expecting too much for him. And with him being in the McLaren, he is expected to do quite well here, and it's the right car for it, so that's why he's making his way as well. He didn't have a bad qualifying session either, as they make their way towards Murray's Corner, a corner that I thought was named after Murray Walker, but it's not named after Murray Walker. Obviously, like John said, it's named after the Australian, as we're starting to see some more battles happening, and mainly in the GT4s at the moment. The GT3s are battles happening a bit quieter at the moment, unless you're Fly Sky trying to catch up to Camo Babo. We've got Thomas trying to catch up to the leaders. He's in 3rd at the moment in class, 3 tenths behind Car Mentalist. And we got Jason as well in the Lambo, the only Lambo in the field, I believe, looking beautiful as ever. As I think did he set a lap time? I'm trying to remember. No, he didn't. He did not set a lap time either. So he's trying to make his way through the GT4s, which he does with ease. Yeah, that is fine. And this could be a three-way fight, 3 abreast into turn 2. That's going to be close between Arnold, Car Mentalist, and Thomas. Where is Thomas at the moment? Is he right on the...
Absolutely side by side.
Side by side.
Yeah, there's a move up the hill.
Arnold's running away with it at the moment. He's running away with it. He's just letting Car Mentalist and Thomas buying their time. He said, you know what, you keep battling, I'll just increase my gap to the lead. Thank you very much. And that is a good tactic to have for Arnold as well. Could be on... Could Arnold take his second win? Can Thomas take his first win of the season? It's still possible, but just can't make room to get past the championship leader. In the mid-background with the GT4s as well, we've got Eddie, who's right on the back of Philip Bordeaux as well. That could be an interesting fight. Rageman, though, he has got some damage. I presume he's in the pits, so he will have to pit later on as well for his mandatory stop, but that's going to set him aside a few laps or so, which is not good. The damage must have been very bad. He must have hit one of the walls, and I'm glad I'm not racing, because I probably would have hit the times and Rage Man. So there we go.
Very unforgiving track.
Very forgiving track, but yeah, those are the battles happening at the moment, heading towards Murray's Corner. Michael Gallo and Corrado as well. So
Corrado's missed it.
Gallo, the McLaren of Corrado has gone off, and he's kind of teleported for some weird reason. That's Gallo saying thank you very much. That is my position gained up to 8th place for the Bentley. And he's now going to be chasing Floppy Fox. He's not that far behind actually now. He's closing in. But, oh, I think... wonder if there was a disconnection, because we're now down to 17 drivers.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
So he is, unless he can get back in, he is out of the session. Jason is in the pits as well. No pit window. Oh, his car looks a bit worse for wear. Could be bad, could be worse, but does he realise that he has to wait for his pit window? Well, I hope so. It has been a week since, well, 2 weeks since the last 60-minute race. Let's just hope they read the driver's briefing and not forgotten.
Yeah, I hope so, but also it doesn't actually say pit window in the open at the top of the screen, so I'm not sure the pit window's actually been put back in for this race.
Yeah.
So
it's not usually open until 20 minutes after the
yeah,
start
but
of
it
the
would
race.
normally say at the top of the screen pit window is closed and a countdown timer until when it would open.
Oh, so I wonder if Dexter has forgotten to put the pit lane window open.
Put the pit window back in. We'll find out when Jason comes out the pits, actually. Jason's in the pit at the moment. He's coming out, so if this goes green for him, then yeah, it looks like a slight server programming hiccup.
We were all focusing on the update. Oh no, it's fine. Okay.
Okay, there we go. Yep. So it is absolutely fine. Yep. There must still be a pit window in place. It's just not showing up at the top of the screen. I've maybe not got my settings right, although I don't change them.
Hold on, let me go on to drive and see if I can see it. No, I can't see it either.
Jason has come back out with the pits. He's still got the one next to his name. Let's have a look. Samba still trying to catch up to Rogue, who is now being left by Iris to build 2.6 seconds. Is the difference there. As we can see, it is absolutely a three-way battle for first place in the GT4s. It is Carmentalist. Actually, we were watching a moment ago. He was in second position. He's been overtaken by Thomas Cesar somewhere in the last lap. So it's Cesar now who is in second for the GT4s, and Arnold still leading the way. Although you can see the gap between the top two, not very much at all. And it's Cesar in the BMW who's just set the quickest lap there. Let's see now if it will tell me. Yeah, there we go. There's the GT4s there. So yeah, it is Arnold, as you can see, leading the way. Half a second of a gap over Cesar. Carmentalist in third, Bodal fourth, Eddie in fifth, and Badgerman in sixth, with Rageman in seventh position for that class at the moment. Carmentalist losing ground along the straight. Of course, these cars not famous for their aerodynamics because they don't have anything. The GT4s, easiest way to explain it. GT3 cars are 20% road car, pretty much name only, and 80% race car, whereas GT4s have to be 80% road car and 20% race car, which means aerodynamics pretty much non-existent. So not going to do well in the slipstream unless they're right on top of one another doing a full Daytona 24-hour. But Carmentalist just outside at the moment. All these guys catch up on the back of, who's that in there? Who's that? I'm confused. Oh, it's Rageman, of course. He's a lap down because he's been into the pits. Yes, I was thinking, how can there be a GT4 car ahead of the three lead GT4 cars? But no, that was Rageman who is a lap down because of his trip into the pits. Hey, Mix64, how we doing, bud? Welcome back. Oh, Forest Elbow. Interesting line by the BMW, but holds on to the position. Carmentalist very, very, very close indeed. We've got ERT Khalifa has come into the pits as well in the GT4s. It does say he's a lap down, so hopefully not sporting any damage there. And it is a side-by-side move coming into the chase. Yes, Cesar's on a charge.
Yeah, he is. So I wonder if they were caught with the battle as well. That's going to be very exciting. Arnold is now behind now as they pass the tight corners, which I forgot what it's called. I need to get the track map up. It's called the chase. There we go, the chase. So I've got it eventually. But yeah, Thomas is now your leader in at the GT4s. But I'm sure Arnold would want to have a piece of the pie as well as Carmentalist. Those three are running on their own at the moment. But we've got the likes of Philip and Eddie. They're having their own little battle, with Badgerman being a lap down. Jason and Rageman obviously had to pit. Khalifa is in as well, so that is an issue. I don't think Corrado could join back into the session, and I had another disconnection a few moments ago. Luckily I was able to join back into the session. Hopefully we don't have any more server issues as Khalifa comes back out of the pits, and still the number 1 shows next to his name. And we're seeing more of the GT3s lapping the GT4s now, so that could be quite interesting, especially when you go through the tight walls, Griffiths Mount into Reeds Park, and also the S's as well, and the dipper. Watch out for the dipper. You don't want to make contact with a GT4 if you're a GT3 in the by near the dipper. No, you don't, because otherwise you will get bad damage for sure. Samba though, is he going to go for a move into turn 2 with the likes of Apex Rogue? Samba looking off the pace at the moment, but he could go for Lungier. He's forced to stay behind, but he's right on the rear bumper of Apex Rogue, so this can get tight as they head towards the cutting of turns 3 and 4. And I just love the views that they get around there. You got the Mount Power and Panorama letters as well once you go up it as well, as they head towards turn 5 and 6 of Griffiths Mount into Reeds Park as they go down the hill. And it looks like they're going to stay winning this battle as well. And look who's joined in the fight as well for Arnold as well. Carl Mentalist as well is back in this fight, and now Thomas is going to be the one that's wanting Arnold and Carl Mentalist to be battling away whilst Thomas pulls away. Oh, I literally don't know who's going to win with the G4. There's just the lead switch. At least one of them has led at least one lap this race. Carl Mentalist has led one, Arnold has led a couple, and now we got Thomas leading a lap 2. So let us know your thoughts on that one as well. And what's happening with the leader? Irish Bulldog, they're just running away with it. He said he's not good around it, but 4.7 seconds to Apex Rogue. He's just downplaying expectations. Can he be the next car mentalist?
Oh, can you even? Oh, I can't wait to get those two on track together.
Yeah,
that's a highlight. Oh wow, yeah, that would be epic. The GT4s, like you say, as soon as we looked away, I had a quick look away to see what was going on with Rogue and Samba, and they've traded places. As I said, Carmental is getting himself up into second ahead of Arnold, who's willfully chasing them back up the mountain. Cesar in that BMW. It does look like it's got the legs there, or at least it did when Arnold was in second. Carmentalist closing that gap back up again. And we've got a nice little three-way battle as well coming in to turn number 1. Milden, Camo Babo and Fly Sky in the McLaren right on the back of that battle as well. And there's Floppy Fox closing ground as well. These positions just outside the podium, so points definitely up for grabs. Samba, he is applying that pressure as you might suggest. 4.2 for Iris the Bulldogs. He's dropped half a second there, making his way through the traffic. Mixie, great to hear you and Jess again, obviously. The two best in the business. Aww. That's right. And how's that today? Great battles on Australia's. It is Bathurst, the mountain that never fails to deliver. At least from a spectator's point of view. Maybe not always what you want.
A nightmare for the drivers sometimes.
Oh yeah. Although I will say I think they've got off a bit lucky with the time that they started. There is a time 6 multiplier. I've got that on the wrong screen. And it started at 4 o'clock in the morning, local time so to speak, so it was headlights on. Definitely getting a lot more visibility now as the day cracks on. Camo Babo's getting a lot more visibility into the rear view mirror of a BMW. Even though he's driving a Bentley, he is very, very, very close indeed to ERT's Milden. This Floppy Fox putting a move on Fly Sky. Cameraman, anytime you want to keep up, that would be great. They're going side by side along the corner straight into the chase. It's going to be the Ferrari starting on the back row of the grid due to the qualification, and finds himself up into 6 and chasing down Camo Babo and ERT Milden. Trying to get himself a cheeky double overtake as these two battle. Coming into turn number 1, will the Porsche go for a move? No, because he's going to find himself boxed in. We've got a GT4 car. The two of them make their way through, but he is definitely in the slipstream, and you can see in the foreground the race leader Can Samba get himself a bit of a vault? Bit of a slipstream? He's going to have a think about it around the outside.
This is tight, John, as they head towards turn 2. I mean, Samba could literally get a move done potentially on Apex Road. It's going to be tight. As I'm just seeing the gaps fluctuate everywhere. It used to be Bulldog was about a second clear of road. Now it's 2.4. But I wonder if Irish to Bulldog. Oh, we got another disconnection. We've got another disconnection. What is happening with this? No, I think we had 3 or 4 disconnections from drivers at the moment. So I have been told by Dexter, if the Serbet continues to play up like this, he will red flag the race. So I will keep an eye on Discord, but it is a shame that it's happened like this. We're down to 15. I think if we lose a couple more, then we will have to end it. But yeah, I believe that is another disconnect. I didn't see anyone bin it or anything like that. So, but yeah, we will keep you informed. It's the first time it's happened since we first started back in season 1, as Thomas hang about with Carmentis once again into Murray's straight on Murray's corner. Murray's corner, and Carmentis is showing the man that he is. Well, he was third a moment ago. He got past Arnold, and now he's got past Thomas as well, and he is in your race leader. So it was Rageman that got this. It was Rageman that got disconnected. So that was another GT4. No problems with the GT3s at the moment. I think all the GT3s are still here, all 8 of them, because there's only 8 of them tonight. And we can see another battle again. Oh, Thomas is not putting up no for an answer. He wants to get past Carmentis quite quickly past turn 2. He clipped the curve a little bit, but you don't want to hit the curve too much. Definitely unsettle the car, especially for those GT3s. So, but yeah, it's not like these guys can go for a massive set like Daniel Ricciardo do, because it's quite narrow. So, but yeah, Carmentis and Thomas, I have to say, fair play, great battle. We could see something similar with the likes of Samba and Apex Rogue as well, so keep an eye out. I'm just loving this race already. Shame about.
Yeah, that is there. Sorry, and you lagged a little bit there as well, just through that last sentence. I hope it came through on the broadcast and it was just Discord being a little bit wonky for me. But yeah, there is some fantastic battles still going on. As you say, the times being set are pretty impressive. Iris the Bulldog, we can see on the timing board there, leading the way. He's now got a pretty big gap, actually. That gap has fluctuated. Oh no, 2.7. So it has actually come down. I thought that was a lot bigger there, sorry. Floppy Fox carving his way through the field as well. Let's have a look. Sorry, I was just checking a couple of other things. That's...
And John, just sorry to interrupt you, the
yes.
pit lane window is open. So
aha!
The drivers can now pit for their mandatory stops. Most of them will probably not go in now, but the ones who probably got damaged there, minor damage, they're probably waiting until the earliest might go in. So they can come in now for their stop. They've got 20 minutes to do so. I'll just look at the sunrise in Bathurst. It just looks absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, it really does.
Love it.
Yeah, it can. Oh, Samba's come in. Floppy Fox has come in. Oh yeah. Oh, he's got damage. Oh, Samba's got serious damage. Oh, he's got big damage. And he's, yeah, big chunk of change behind Rogue. Oh, and there's a BMW sporting damage. That's Milden. Oof, Milden's had a dent. That's a technical term. Oof, by the way.
That is why Camo Babo's catching up to Milden then.
Yeah, that'll be why, yeah. The two of them were having a battle. Who forgot? Oh yeah, there's Camo Babo there. Back down in 5th. Iris then 3.6 up the road from Rogue. Samba in the pits. So Milden promoted to 3rd. Camo Babo promoted to 4th. Floppy Fox in the pits with Fly Sky. And Michael Gallo coming along the bottom stretch at the moment for the GT4s. It is Carmentalist doing Carmentalist things. He is leading the way by half a second over Thomas Oh no, he's not. Thomas Cesar is carrying huge damage. Huge damage. Arnold's in second for the GT4s, and it is Thomas Cesar. Yep, he has got some monster damage on that BMW. He's going to be coming into the pits, that is for sure. Fox is exiting the pits, and as we can see there, Thomas Cesar confirmed as second in the GT4s. So it is still 15 drivers on the track. We've got 37 minutes left to go. We've got Samba exiting the pits now behind Floppy Fox. No doubt the extra time of getting that damage repaired. Fly Sky back out on track after the pit stop as well. Camel Babble's got the overtake done on a forlorn ERT Milden in the BMW. I do know that thing can absolutely hear it along this back straight, as was highlighted at the weekend. Well, his car doesn't look that damaged now.
Doesn't look. Oh, so 2 cars have hit the wall. And that one was Thomas and one was Camo Babbo. And
wow.
The server had a little bit of a lag spike for me there. I don't know if that's happened your end, but so many cars just went into the wall.
Yeah.
Six roads in the pits.
Thomas Cesar was carrying damage anyway, so that may have compromised his handling coming into the corner. But certainly that has been a big contact there, and Cesar's going to be stationary for quite some time getting that repaired. APX Rogue is in the pits, not sporting any damage, so we'll see where he comes out in comparison to Floppy Fox, who of course started on the back row of the grid. He's 6th overall at the minute. He's definitely going to get past Camo Babbo. Rogue, Rogue's already moving. And there is Murray's Corner on the horizon for the Fox. And there is Jason just coming around the first corner, right behind APX Rogue, who's exited the pit. So he's maintained that position over Fox. Definitely not a 40-second gap there. That'll tidy itself up when the two of them come through the first timing delta. That's promoted then ERT Milden up to second place overall. Very confused by the sudden lack of damage on his car, unless he had the world's quickest pit stop. Unless it was that BMW of ERT Eddie potentially. But who's that he's got just behind him? Another one of the Bentleys.
Ooh.
That's Michael Gallo, currently running in 3rd overall. As we wait on the pit stops. Yep, so that is, so leading the way, it is still Iris the Bulldog. It's ERT Milden and Michael Gallo currently in 1st, 2nd and 3rd. But of course Rogue and Floppy Fox and ERT Samba, depending on the amount of damage he's had to get repaired, they'll certainly be having something to say about that when these 3 come into the pits. Iris the Bulldog has got some serious clear track ahead of him, so I'm guessing he is going to stay out until the last possible second to come in and change those tyres. The track temperature not changing hugely so far, so you'll be keen, as I say, to get as much track time as he can. Still 14 minutes, so you could 6, maybe 7 laps. You could still sneak in there, and you can see on the map in the bottom right hand corner plenty of track ahead of him until he gets to Fly Sky, who has pitted, so that gap will stretch back out again there. So yeah, this is Iris the Bulldog here, another sterling performance, and the sim racing gods have certainly smiled upon him, I would say, Jess, with the way things have ironed themselves out and the amount of free track that he's got ahead of him.
Yes, and the moment where he places his car is just beautiful. Like, this part of the track, you're going to be close to the wall, and I don't know how he avoids hitting it. It's so narrow where you place the car, and he takes the straight to the right hand side as well to get the most grip, and you go down the hill here, carries so much speed as he heads towards the chase section, where you got to be very precise on the brakes. Don't brake too late, of course. And yeah, he is on a perfect record at the moment. Don't want to say too much, could end up in a wall and bin it, but yeah, at the moment he's he's in the pits now. He's going into the pits to make his first stop. Will Milden do the same thing? I think he would, and so will Michael Gallo, I think, as well. But yeah, but the Bulldog will come in and we'll see where that is in relation to Apex Rogue, who pitted a lap before. And same with Floppy Fox and Samba and Camo Babo as well, because we need to obviously take the gaps before the pit stop, of course. I need to try and figure out what the pit lane loss here is. Not as much compared to the likes of Spa, because remember where we were at Spa last season. Oh, that was brilliant. So 47%, yeah, 47% you can lose with fuel and tyres. So not that much, as we saw someone coming out of the pits. When that was a green card, that might have been Jason. Let me have a look. Yeah, it was Jason, who has just come out of the pits. We also got another driver in the pits. All three, well, apart from, yeah, I think all, no, Tom, what's happened to Thomas?
He had to pit earlier. He has just gone past. He had to pit for a lot of damage. How? Wow. Oh, he's a lap down as well.
Yeah, he's a lap down because he says 93 point. Yeah,
yes.
That's the pit. So all the top three on the GT4s have come in. Carl Mentalist, Arnold, and Philip Bordow. Eddie stays out for another lap. Interesting. Same with Badgerman as well. Irish Bulldog comes out ahead of Apex Rogue, and we'll wait for the game to update itself, because it's not 58 seconds, believe it or not. It's around about 2 or 3 seconds, I think. So come on, game, update, will you? 2.6. I was close. I said 2 seconds, but I said 2.6, so not too bad. Philip Bordow comes out of the pits, and Carmen and Arnold has just come out as well. So that just leaves 4 drivers to make their mandatory stops, with half an hour of this race still to go and 10 minutes or so of the pit window. So they do not have long left to make their pit stops. And Milden leads the way on track, but it is Irish Bull that is your net race leader. And for the GT4s, your net race leader is Carl Mentalist, who is doing a stellar job in the G. Oh, it could be actually quite close to him and Arnold soon, but Arnold's 15.1 seconds, or less probably be less than that due to the game. But Carl Mentalist is lapping the GT3s right now, and I thought that was going to be another trip to the wall there, but it's not. It's the camera's deciding to throw a hissy fit at the moment. So yeah, should be interesting in the last half of the race, and still 4 drivers to make their pit stops. And I kind of want to see a different winner for the GT4s, but it could all change as the final half concludes. Well, the first half concludes and the final begins.
Indeed, yeah, it certainly can. Bodal will certainly not be complaining at the poor luck of his competitors there. One of the championship protagonists finds himself re-promoted to the podium after finding himself a long way off. And he's actually on 2.8 seconds, so he's definitely closing on Arnold in second. Last week's race winner, one of the races last week from the double header, back on the podium this week, but not where he expected to be given the early performance. No doubt there is Badgerman coming in to take his pit stop. Only one more GT4 to take that pit stop. Still 9 minutes left to go for Eddie to take his pit as he climbs up the mountain once again. Up at the front of the field is his ERT teammate, who is leading the way on track at the moment in the BMW. Again, he's got his pit stop to take, so does Michael Gallo in second. Iris the Bulldog, he's come back out on track and he's got a bit of space ahead of him. Next on track is Jason, another GT3 car in the Lamborghini, but not too far behind is APX Row, keeping him very honest indeed. And the floppiest of foxes in the Ferrari is flying down the mountain as well. We can see him just coming up to ERT Eddie in the GT4. Not the easiest way to get, not the easiest place to overtake. He's going to have to wait until the Conrod Straight to get his way through. Badgerman in the pit and ERT Milden in the pit as well. So is Michael Gallo. So that's the GT3s all ticked the pit stop box with 28 minutes left on the clock. Here we can see coming through the chase. Oh, Badger Man. Stop go 32nd.
No, that was his first ever stop go he's had in this season, I believe.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. Yeah, we've not seen many penalties spread around from the drivers. A couple of track violations, a couple of stop go 30-seconders, but not a lot. But yeah, falling foul of it there. And he hasn't actually cleared his mandatory either. So he's going to have to come back into the pits twice. He's going to have to come in and serve a stop go.
So I wonder if he served just fuel or just tyres.
Yeah,
maybe?
he's made a mistake there. Eddie's coming into the pits. Milden's coming out of the pits. Gallo is still stationary. Indeed is. APX Rogue. There's Floppy Fox. So he's behind Floppy and ahead of Samba, if I'm not mistaken, and I don't think I am. Samba's going to get ahead of Gallo then. Michael Gallo coming out of the pits. Camel Babble on the back straight. So it is Fly Sky ahead as well. So yeah, Michael Gallo back down at the back of the field for the GT3s, which is so unlucky with the disconnection for him happening the way it did. He did qualify on the front row of the grid. So yeah, really sensationally bad luck for Michael to find himself where he does. Currently in class. I'm sure the Bentley power, as we can see, Irish the Bulldog showing the Bentley can definitely get the laps done here as he comes along the Conrod straight for the 16th time of asking. 26 minutes left to go, and he is increasing that gap to APX Road. 6 seconds. Oh no, sorry, 3.4 seconds. I read the wrong part there. But yeah, that's still another 4/10 up. It was at 3 seconds, and it is now 3.4 as they come through. So the Bulldog absolutely charging at the moment. Rogue in second. Floppy Fox, what a drive for him, starting on the back row of the grid. Finds himself up into 3rd place. So that is quite the drive there. Milden. He's having a great run as well, actually. He's hanging on there to 4th. Samba down into 5th. Not the race he would have been hoping for. Camel Babble in 6th. Fly Sky in 7th. And there is the 6-second gap to which I was alluding earlier. It's Michael Gallo trying to catch his way back up to Fly Sky. Potentially get a late position. Oh, and he's missed the chase there.
That was quite tight there.
That was, yeah, he really is looking to get himself back up to Fly Sky, but if you overdrive, you could end up with much more than just a 6-second gap to overcome. These GT4 cars will take a bit of a hammering before they start giving up. The GT3s, not so much. Pretty much made of tin-foil and very thin carbon fibre. You don't want to mess with the aerodynamics, especially on a track like this. Milden trying to make moves to catch up to Fox, but Fox is definitely on a charge, 15 seconds behind Rogue. Could he catch up on at the back? That would be, in fact, terrible. Let's have a look. APX Rogue's quickest lap, 202.9. Wow. Let's see what Fox has been lapping in. 203.3. Wow, so Rogue is definitely the quicker of the two. Sorry, excuse me a second. Yes.
I'll try and look at Irish Bulldog's time as well to see what lap times he's been showing up front. So if I click on drive for Irish Bulldog, 2 minute 2.202 was his best time, and his last lap time was 2 minute 3.246. So he's just showing that he's the class of the field right now, Mr. Bulldog, as he goes past Murray's Corner now to start the 17th, well, to start the 17th or 18th lap of the race. He currently leads the way, and he sets another 2 minute 2.2. Wow, he's increasing the gap massively, and at the moment, already in the first 3 corners alone, he's already a tenth, almost 2 tenths quicker than his previous best. So he is pushing with low fuel modes. They don't have to. So it could get tight between himself and Apex Road, but being the 2 minute 2s in order to get into Irish the Bulldog's battle range right now. Jason's in the pit. Oh, Jason's in the pits again. He's got massive damage definitely to his bodywork at least. So he definitely hit the whole wall somewhere. So another pits for him. Badgerman is still in the pits. So I wonder if that's him out of the race then for the first time this season, but I'll need to double check on that. GT4s doesn't look like the change of leads going to happen anytime soon, because Car Mentalist still leads like Arnold to 15 seconds. Then it's Philip Bodal 5 seconds. Then it's Eddie, and then it's Thomas. They're the only GT3s on track right now. And Jason hopefully will get back in this race, even though he's going to be a few laps down anyway. But yeah, not much happening at the moment. It seems to quieten down, hasn't it, John?
Yeah, it has quietened down a bit. The mountain has taken its toll on a few of the drivers, and the pit stops have certainly stretched things out. Car Mentalist absolutely on a charge yet again, showing how it is done. And Iris the Bulldog now stretching those legs well and truly, lapping very, very consistently at the moment. 4.5 seconds over APX Rogue at the moment. Let's see, 4.8, so another 3/10. That must be some absolutely Olympic times. 2:02.0. He's threatening to go sub 2 minutes 2.
Jesus! He's going to be almost matching his quali pace.
Yeah, he is. I think he will, to be honest. With 20 minutes left to go, he's going to be shedding fuel. His tyres maybe slightly compromised, not too much judging. Oh, look how close he gets to that. You can see as he comes up the mountain how consistent he is. His delta's right on top of one another. Loses half a tenth on the way up the hill. Absolutely motoring. Again, just absolutely doing what he needs to do. Doesn't seem to be taking quite such wide lines at the moment. Doesn't need to, really. Doesn't need to give himself the extra headache of trying to extract every millimetre of the track. Keep it off the curbs. No need for any undue rotation of the car that you don't need. No point in losing any grip that you don't need. It's an absolute monstrous lead he's got at the moment. The board at the bottom saying 6.8 seconds back to Rogue. I think Rogue's just got past Jason in the forlorn Lamborghini. Floppy Fox is still trying to catch up there, not making much headway though. 16 seconds is the gap. It looks like that's going to be a big one to overturn. The two of them are lapping at very similar paces, hence the gap not closing massively. Although Fox not quite in the 202s yet. 203.3 is his quickest lap, and his previous was a 203.4. And he's actually threatening, he's got himself half a tenth coming along the Conrod straight, so he is doing what needs to be done and getting quicker as the race goes on. Less fuel, less weight, quicker lap times is ideally how it works. Fox doing everything he can. Certainly I would say, Jess, one of the most deserving drivers on the podium in this race, given he started right at the back with such an unlucky qualifying. Now on the podium, and yeah, deserving to be there on both race pace and race IQ.
Yeah, he's been due, long overdue for a good race, to be honest, because last week didn't go his way, and even the media, the press, picked up on his unlucky performance, and he wanted to prove the media wrong today, I think. And with Floppy Fox there now, he's not going to get second, but surely after starting last due to the server issues, we're not taking his time, and now in third position. Imagine what he would have been if he set a lap time. He would have been near the front, but we would never know. We would never know at this stage what would have happened. But Floppy Fox, he is another. I think he's one of my driver of the days at the moment, because you don't need to necessarily win to get driver of the day. But he also takes the walls quite close as well, and the speed he carries there is quite good. But so very well deserving on the podium at the moment. I've just been looking, John, at the GT4 lap times. Car Mentalist's best lap time is a 2 minute 14.74. 1:05.4, and I can actually go and do this. The timetables. There we go. If I actually go to the race, because at the moment it shows free practice, and I can't remember how you go to the. No, you can't go to the race yet. It's not over. Duh. But Arnold's lap. What was Arnold's lap time last lap? 2:15. So Competizione, I think, being one of the only GT4s to be in a 2:14, unless Philip is in the 2:14s as well. Let me have a look. Nope, he's in the 2:15. So yeah, Competizione, I think, definitely a class of his own. Eddie, what has Eddie done? Even though he's a few
Thomas Cesar did a 2:14.6. Of course, he was battling for the lead before he crashed out early doors. 17 minutes left to go.
Oh yeah, Thomas, yeah.
Yeah, 2:14.6. Oh, Corsa the commentator.
John.
Into the S, he's made a mess. And his left wing is left up the mountain. The BMW taking a big hit there on the walls. He was actually just over 2 seconds down on his quickest lap time on the previous lap. And yeah, a bit of Corsa the commentator there. I've been a bit famous for that this weekend at Bathurst. Apologies to all drivers involved. But yeah, Thomas Cesar, big hit there. As I said, these GT4 cars can take a bit of a pounding before there's any type of aerodynamic consequences, given the lack of aerodynamics that these cars have. So it's not like they rely on the bodywork. But definitely not the type of impact you want in any race car coming down the mountain. No. Again, losing to another 3 seconds lost on the previous lap, which was already 2 seconds down. So Thomas, one of the podium protagonists early doors, finds himself down 5th in class at the moment. Let's have a look at Camo Babo. He's reignited the battle with ERT Milden, then the teammates once again. Nose to tail BMW versus Bentley. And there is the GT4 of ERT Eddie. Just getting out of the way to let his GT3 teammate make his way through. In fact, both of them are coming into Forest Elbow. The Bentley is very close, in fact, well within slipstream range, so we'll have a... Let's have a little look. Rage Man. He's in the chat, he's had a DC. Yeah, we've had, unfortunately, 3 DCs so far. We've got 15 hanging on in there, though. Definitely a bit unfortunate. Technology, it's a wonderful thing when it works. And yeah, I tell you what.
Yes.
Is Eddie in the pits?
Yes.
He's maybe got himself a bit of damage.
I'll say he probably did the typical iRacing tow and returned to garage, probably. Because he teleported.
Oh, okay. Oh, right enough, yeah, because these guys have just passed him.
Yes.
Oh, well, if he has, he's going to have to sit there for 2 minutes.
I think because these controls will be locked as well.
Yeah, controls will be locked for 2 minutes, yeah.
For his elbow, very weirdly, he was so close to the... Well, he was a little bit too close to the wall, so I wonder... Yeah, just as I was riding on board with Competizione, he just got past and he was going there very slowly, so I wonder if he picked up damage before that. And I think the damage that he probably got was far too much for him to carry on with his lap, so that's why he had to, I think, return to the pits, unfortunately. What a shame for Eddie, though. What a shame. It
is, yeah. It's one of those things, Bathurst, it's one thing to make a mistake, it's another thing entirely to get a heavily damaged car back to the pits, and then another thing entirely to keep yourself out of the way of the other cars that are racing. As you can see, there is not much room to swing a dead cat around some of these corners and straights. This is actually, believe it or not, a public road. Every millimetre of this is public roads, very strictly enforced 37 miles an hour, and believe you me, there's police regularly patrolling this. There's plenty of videos on YouTube. But this is a two-way road, houses and farms all along here, and on non-race days you can just go for a cruise around. But certainly in these cars, if you're trying to stay out of the way while you're sporting a lot of damage, it can be almost impossible. You're either taking out another car or you're just giving yourself more and more and more damage from bouncing off the walls. No bouncing off the walls for these two at the moment, though. Milden and Camel Babel. Camel Babel not quite able to close again coming along the Conrod Straight. The BMW seeming to have the legs in a straight line. The M6 definitely got the legs over the M4 version. On the PC, that is for sure. Camel Babel this time though, only 2/10 of Milden's lap time. So the two of them definitely getting separation anxiety if the one of them laps too slowly. He's up on his time as well, so Camel Babel in the Bentley could be taking himself a position. There's Flysky in the back, and there's Michael Gallo who's closed in as well actually, so he has closed the gap quite a bit on Flysky. 12 minutes left to go. Will it be too little, too late? Iris the Bulldog now with a 9.3 second gap over APX Rogue. Floppy Fox 16.9, so he's not lost much time at all, only 9/10 since we last checked in on him. Coming through the GT4 cars. Samba hanging on there to 4th, then it's Milden and Camel Babel 5th and 6th, Flysky 7th. Michael Gallo in 8th, then we hit the GT4's car mentalist still comfortably leading the way. Just on the back of APX Road there, coming along the Conrod Straight, it's ERT Arnold in 2nd position in the Porsche. Philip Bodal promoted to the podium after Thomas Cesar's bad luck, and it's Thomas that finds himself 4th in class and carrying a bit more damage on that BMW. Jason bringing up the rear for the GT3s at the moment, with Eddie and the Badgerman retiring to the pits. Badgerman having a pit issue we're guesstimating, and then getting himself have a slap on the wrist for stop go. It was a pit limiter thing, but yeah, did we find out what happened with? Oh no, that's not the button, John. There we go. That was a quick view of the sponsors there. You're welcome. I didn't click the wrong button, you did. Did we find out what happened with his actual pit, because he didn't clear his mandatory pit requirement the first time he came in? So yeah, it'd be interesting to find out what happened there as well.
His refuelling amount didn't save.
So
he didn't refuel. Okay. He took tyres, but it didn't refuel him.
Right, got you.
So that was why it still had the number 1 next to his name, unfortunately.
That'll definitely be an issue there. We can see the GT3s trying to get themselves a cheeky bit of toe off the GT4. Coming along to Quarry Bend to ascend the mountain once again. Fast approaching the last 10 minutes. Will Milden be able to fend off Camel Babel all the way to the end? Mac, no, you didn't click the wrong button. You were looking at the wrong place. Okay. Yeah, so it's just, if only it was that simple. But it probably is. That's what the thing is. It's all so close together. I should probably make it a bit bigger or get glasses actually.
You've got to be careful, otherwise Matt will put you on the cold list next week.
That's it, yeah. I should be on the cold list every week, let's face it. It's always Chromatics or yourself that's blazing the trail. And blazing the trail again, Iris the Bulldog, he's going to be back in the commentary box more than once before the end of the season. Flying across that start-finish line once again, with a truly monstrous lead now over APX Rogue. 12 seconds is the gap there. That's serious, and it's almost the same. Let's see just how closely Rogue and Fox are lapping. Like you say, Jess, what could have been if Floppy Fox had managed to start up at the front with a qualifying time, he could have well been within the slipstream. It's a second he's lost on that last lap there, so he is still lapping very closely with Rogue's times. So yeah, definitely what could have been. Oh, Camel Babel has a look around the outside at Murray's corner.
Wow.
Is he going to try for the cutback? A little bit of contact as the exit. He tried the cutback, falls back into line there after that little rear quarter panel tap. They both survive, but Camel Babel definitely signalling his intent to get that overtake done. So we'll keep an eye on this one as they ascend the mountain once again. Let me make sure I read that properly and push that button instead of that button, because that's definitely the wrong button. This is the right one. You're welcome, Dex, for the extra ERT time there. Coming up the mountain then, 8 minutes left to go, Jess. You know Milden and Camel Babble quite well, although Milden, yeah, fairly new addition to ERT's team, but he's definitely raced here a lot. Who do we think has got the makings of taking 5th position, Milden or Camel Babble?
Oh, that is a tough question, John. That is a tough question, because Milden, out of between himself and Camo Babbo, seems to be the quicker driver, but Milden makes quite a bit of mistakes. Camo Babbo has been up there as well, but they are, I believe, both in the party together as well, so they're probably communicating a little bit, saying, oh, I'm here, I'm there, blah. In too much way, because they're on different teams in terms of constructors and everything, but they want to do well for their ERT compatriot anyway, and obviously Milden having the ERT colours, and I'm sure Dexter loves that when we all saw deliveries at the beginning of the season. Obviously Milden teaming up with Eddie for the season as well. Eddie not scoring at all today, but Milden is going to be scoring for the team as well. Actually, for those of you that don't know, Milden recently, I think it was about just before the season started, became our newest addition to the One Hub Racing tier coordinators for ACC alongside Dexter today. Dexter and Milden help manage the ACC side of One Hub Racing, and to be fair, Milden's been a great addition to the team ever since he joined, and Dexter obviously couldn't do it on his own with Nick, so he needed someone to join him, and Milden was a perfect addition. So if you're watching this, Milden, thank you for all you've done so far. You've been phenomenal, and he's quite good on track actually at the moment today. But I think his pace could have been a lot better at times, but at least he's having a little bit of fun battling with the likes of Camo Babbo. But to answer your question, too tough to call between Milden and Camo Babbo. Camo Babbo almost made a mistake there. Yeah, he went a bit wide. So I'm going to say Milden, though, in my opinion. He just has more experience, and yeah, I think he's going to get P5 over Camo Babbo.
Yeah, I think it looks like it. I think it looks like it, especially with that big clip of the wall there for Camel Babble. That's not going to do his aerodynamics any good at all. Cameraman keeping up again as we come down the hill once more. Just have a quick look and see how the GT4s are getting on, and it is still as you were. Car Mentalist, the dominant, dominating once again. 21 seconds over Arnold, who's had a great drive to get himself back up to 2nd place. Philip Bodal with a free trip to the podium, thanks to the unfortunate luck of Thomas Cesar, who is given the pace he's shown here tonight. I'm sure he will take a lot from this, and yeah, be looking forward to the remainder of the season. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what he can do when he gets a clear run at it. Eddie and Badgerman unfortunately retiring to the pits with terminal damage and a couple of pit issues, and Jason bring up the rear of the field in the GT3 Lamborghini. Disconnection issues at the start of the race, unfortunately relegating him a couple of laps down, but he's managed to get himself back in, and he is going to finish out the race. I'd love to see it. Only 4.5 minutes left to go, and the closest thing we have at the moment to an overtake is Camo Babbo and Milden. We did see Camo Babbo have that clip of the wall. I thought that would give Milden the impetus to stretch that gap out, but at the moment Camo Babbo is definitely hanging on in there. Unlucky for some, 13, the number of seconds that Iris the Bulldog has in hand over the rest of the field. Let's have a look at this. He's going to cross the line with about 3.5 minutes left to go, so we've got about another 3 laps, I think. 2 laps minimum after this one for Iris, and he's got a nice clear track ahead of him all the way to Jason at the back of the pack. His lap times are still keeping well quicker, or seriously quicker than the rest of the field. He's still lapping Jess under 2 minutes 3, and he's just done another sub 2 minute 3 again. Just casually, as you like, popping in laps that are quick enough to get you in the top 4 in qualifying. Just not battling an eyelid round here. And Bathurst, yeah, not something that Iris the Bulldog's intimidated by, that's for sure.
Usually when you're a new driver, you usually get intimidated by joining a new league because you're wondering, oh, am I going to be... But he wasn't threatened at all by the looks of things. He wasn't scared as much as the other drivers when they started as well, and he hit the ground running from day one. He's been the only driver so far to have a 100% pole record when he started. Actually, no, 100% race win record at the moment. No one has come close to that in GT3. Obviously, we had Samba that's won a race. I'm trying to remember who else. Well, Samba and Irish the Bulldog. He has been a long... Apex Rogue, that's it. Apex Rogue and Samba. Irish the Bulldog, who's looking to take his 3rd win of the season, because we had 2 sprint races last week, so technically that counted as 2 races, so that'll be the 3rd one. And he is a bit down on his lap time at the moment, but to be honest, he's just not focused on lap time now. He just cross the line and make sure that he can keep the gap relatively stable right now, as Milden and Camo Babo's gap is still relatively the same. It's increased actually, 3.2 seconds, so advantage Milden in that regard. And regards to Michael Gallo, he's on his own. Nearest car to him is the same bit of track as everybody else's. So, and the Irish the Bulldog, John, is on the final lap already with a 1 minute and 29 left to go of the race. Apex Rogue in 2nd, Floppy Fox in 3rd, and with the GT4s, it's Carmentis that still leads. What a gap between Carmentis and Arnold though, 20.4 seconds.
Yeah. We got not wrong button again. It really is an absolute monster of a gap. Another champion's performance from Carmentis, proving once again why he is the returning double defending champion. And he's going to get himself a GT4 title to add to that very soon if he keeps these performances up, of course. Still a lot more racing to come from this series. We've got Mazzano, 2 races at Barcelona, another double sprint affair. Lots of points to be won and lost in that event. And then it's Oulton Park. Oh, good luck with there. And then, of course, the hour and a half Paul Ricard to see out the season. That track is a bit of a creeper, and I can guarantee you there's going to be some serious action and overtaking there. It definitely lends itself to it. As much as I bemoan it, it is a pretty phenomenal track for racing on. And it is Iris the Bulldog just coming along the Conrod Straight for the last time of asking. We're talking about a champion's performance from Carmentalist. I'm going to go out on a limb and say we're seeing a champion-elect performance here, as Iris the Bulldog has not put a foot wrong, unleashed from his collar. That's a dog joke there. And he has, for 29 laps, ruled the roost unequivocally. A bit of defending in the first couple of laps, put that very quickly to rest, and off he charged. And here we see him coming across the line to take the checkered flag, and another race victory. Quite the season so far, and it is Iris the Bulldog taking another race victory. 3 in 2 weeks. That's quite the record. Oh, and a bit of damage there for APX Rogue. A lot of damage for APX Rogue, but he does hold on to that podium position. Samba on a last effort to catch Fox. Oh, well spotted, Mix. Wow, look at the difference there. So has Floppy Fox got some damage as well? Samba really did bring it to life in the closing stages. Did not see that one coming, and he nearly gets himself on the podium. But it is Floppy Fox with a well-deserved podium after starting at the back of the grid due to connection issues. Finds himself in 3rd, ERT Samba in 4th, and it's ERT Milden does take the honours over the third ERT driver of Cabo Babo. 2 seconds there. That little dent with 2 laps to go. Certainly taking its toll. Fly Sky managing to fend off the ever-charging Michael Gallo to take 7th, Gallo taking 8th. And then we see the GT4 leader. APXO, the amazing chicane in the mountain, claimed my steering rod on the last lap. Ouch. Yeah, that's not what you need. No such dramas for Car Mentalist rounding the last corner. Giving it a nice Scandinavian flick. Is he not just straight along the pit wall? Checkered flag and another win. 4 trips out of 4 to the podium. 3 of them have been for race wins. An incredible season so far. And not showing any signs of that. I'm sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4. 5th trip to the podium this season. 4 of them for race wins.
He's doing donuts as well. Look at him.
He is. Gotta love it. Indeed.
There
is ERT Arnold, another trip to the podium for Arnold. So only once this season hasn't been on the podium and has occupied all 3 podium positions at one point. 1st, 2nd and 3rd already. Another 2nd to notch on his belt. Philip Bodal, 3rd on the podium. Oh, if he's carrying some damage coming down the last few corners as well. Jason comes home in the GT3s. ERT Eddie still in the pit, so did we lose? We're at 15th, right, so I think, did we lose someone right at the end there? Rageman, Badgerman.
It was Corrado earlier, remember?
Oh, yeah, no, I think, yeah, we had 14 there just at the end. I thought we'd lost someone else. Let's just have a look at the timetables and see if we can get some kind of clarity on that. So there is the GT3 results. Irish the Bulldog, APX Rogue, Floppy Fox, Samba, Milden, Camel Babo, Fly Sky, Michael Gallo, Jason and Corrado with the DC. Unfortunately, in the GT4s, we've got Car Mentalist taking the top spot, and all Porsche fair up at the top there. Arnold in 2nd, Philip Bodal 3rd, Thomas Cesar in 4th, Eddie 5th, Badgerman 6th, Rageman 7th, and ERT Khalifa. Another disconnection, unfortunately, finishing down in 8th place. Action packed all the way to the end there, Jess. But 2 very, very, very worthy winners there, in Irish the Bulldog and Car Mentalist, who we'll be speaking to very shortly.
Yeah, we will, and they both won again, just like last week. Car Mentalist winning the 2nd race last week. Of Irish Bulldog warning both of them last week, and we're both going to be speaking to them again. So it may be regular occurrences for the Bulldog, I have to say. But regarding Drive of the Day, it's going to be very tough. We'll decide that in a minute. We'll decide those 2 in a minute. We've got to pick one each and bigger question. But should we do that now, or should we do the interviews first?
Let's do that now. Ladies before gentlemen, of course. Not that there's any gentlemen in here, that's only me. But there certainly is a lady. So would you like to go first, Jess?
Well, I'm going to have to go for Floppy Fox, because he got a brilliant result after starting at the back due to server issues, and he was able to make some good overtakes. So I'm going to say, did you ever think a podium was possible after the server issues at the start of the race? And congratulations on your podium. That is my question to Floppy Fox. He's my drive of the day. What about yours, John?
It was going to be Floppy Fox, but we will go for... I'm just cheating and looking down the timing boards, because I'm... Who we're going to go for? It's got to be Car Mentalist. It just does. And the question is going to be, how much of a battle did you think you had on your hands at the start of the race, given the pace shown by the BMW? So yeah, let's go for that. Yes, indeed, because it was shaping up to be quite the battle before those incidents. Let's just have a look. We've had the timings up. No one in the waiting to interview box at the moment. Iris, I'm sure. Car Mentalist, well, no, he only wins so you can come in here and chat to me every week. It's the only reason it happens. But they will be in here very shortly. Of course, this was round number 4. Next week it is Misano. The next round is Misano, followed by the Barcelona doubleheader, one of my favourite tracks, and I think that's the one I'm going to miss actually. I do need to keep checking.
I thought you were missing next week.
Oh, is it next week I'm missing? Yes, night shift next week, so it's Misano, so I will be here for Barcelona, I think. Yes.
Thank goodness for you.
Yes, indeed. Oh, I love Barcelona. Absolutely phenomenal track. I was actually doing some laps there earlier on, even though I'm a bit under the weather, trying to improve on my times there. Still no joy. Ullum Park, and just after that, wow, that's definitely a spectator's course. I think the Bathurst Fun to Drive, try Ullum. And then Paul Ricard will be where we are finishing up. And here he is then, once again. My biggest stalker does everything he can just to make sure he's in this commentary box. I'm absolutely sure that's what it is. Definitely not his unbelievable driving talent, Mr. I've never driven a GT4 much before. Taken to it like a duck to water, finds himself on the podium with a 100% podium rate and another One Hub Racing ACC win under his belt. It is the unstoppable Mr. Car Mentalist. How was that for you?
That was hi again.
Hi again.
Fancy seeing you here. That was a lot of fun. I absolutely loved that one. Stark contrast to Zandvoort. I adore Bathurst. Such a good track, and yeah, that was amazing. So loved every second of it.
Yeah, good. Well, it's fun because the reason I hesitated, I gave you a nomination for Driver of the Day, and the reason I hesitated with my question was because I wanted to ask you this one live. That, and you've pretty much answered it. That's got to be the most fun. That's got to be the most fun you've had on ACC in your driving career. Those opening few laps and that battling, that was epic, epic stuff.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was really a lot of fun. The early battle I had with Arnold was good fun. We were fairly level pegging at the start. I think it was Thomas's. Yeah, it was Thomas we were racing with. His BMW was unbelievably fast in a straight line. It was like a GT 3.5 car in a straight line. It was ridiculous how fast it was. So I just let him through when he got to me because I thought I may as well get him to lead, and then he'll be slow at the top of the hill, and he'll slow up the two Porsches. And the battle was great, but then they both made their own mistakes, sadly. So they kind of fell back. But apart from that, just driving the track in a GT4 car was, stunning. Absolutely stunning.
Excellent. Yeah, no, it did. Yeah. And you can hear it in your voice just how much you enjoyed it. I was going to ask you a quick question about the BMW, but I'll let Jess jump in and I'll see if she's got any questions she'd like to throw your way first.
Well, I'm quite shocked to hear that you like Bathurst. I thought you would have hated it. Personally, that's my personal opinion there as well. How much practice did you have around this track? Because it's obviously a very hard track. Did you ever in the GT4s before?
I did a bit of practice last night just to get the setup, and because I tried out a different setup style for this race, and it very clearly paid off. So I did a bit of practice last night, but no more than half an hour. But before that, I'd not touched a GT4 car at Bathurst ever. So this was pretty much, apart from half an hour last night, it was the first time I'd driven a GT4 car here. So it was, definitely a shot in the dark, to say the least, this race was. But yeah, worked out perfectly.
Every week you come in here and I build you up to be an amazing driver in person, and every week you reveal some unbelievably startling fact that reveals just how much of an alien you are and just how woefully bad I am at sim racing.
Practicing the night before.
I'm serious. I mean, come on, Carmen. No, your driving talent is just, natural ability is phenomenal. And I've actually had a conversation about you behind your back. I've been speaking about you behind your back. And the conversation has always been the same. There's actually two people brought it up with me and one person I've brought it up with, and it is always exactly the same. Cannot wait till Car Mentalist gets on the PC. Honest, it's just like seriously. I did 6 hours of Bathurst, and it was during them you came up twice, and once the day before, and it was literally talking about PC driver, this, that, and the next thing, and it just random. Yeah, Car Mentalist from One Hub. Can't wait till he gets on the PC.
Yeah, if anybody's watching the stream that would like to sponsor me and pay for all the costs, please go ahead. I would love it. Thank you very much.
Please do it. Please do it. Please. Yeah. Please do it. Yeah. Because the thing is, he's that good. He will keep up with both commitments. Because Leon Seeley and the gang have all done that. They're all there racing on both. It's just completely beyond alien. But yeah, and the other question I had, the BMW, did that give you a surprise as to how much pace that had in a straight line, or were you expecting that?
I knew the BMW was fast in a straight line, but I think the undulation of the track and the straights made it even more fast in a straight line, because it's got so much torque in it, that BMW engine, that it's so good uphill, whereas the Porsche's obviously got a smaller engine, so it's fine if the track surface is flat, but that is not Bathurst. So
Indeed.
Yeah, when we were especially going uphill on the first, I can't remember what the first straight's called. Mountain Straight, the first straight, I think.
Yeah,
Mountain Straight, going up Mountain Straight. It was ridiculous how fast the BMW was. It was a bit better down Conrod Straight because it's mainly downhill, so it was more of a level playing field. But yeah, uphill down up Mountain Straight was ridiculous how fast that BMW was in a straight line. I didn't expect it to be that fast.
Yeah, it certainly makes it interesting for the upcoming races with the straights on Barcelona and the back straight on Misano. And yes. Paul Ricard. It's going to be.
Oh God.
There we go. You put a spanner in my works, so I've thrown one in yours as well. But no, congratulations once again, ringing in your ears, my good man. Another absolutely phenomenal drive. And yeah, it genuinely is great to hear how much you enjoyed it as well, given Bathurst can certainly be unforgiving, and was for quite a few competitors tonight, but you've come through more than just unscathed. So yeah, congratulations once again. And well, give me a yes, no. Are you going to be able to stick add the GT4 title to your accomplishments here at One Hub?
100%.
Good man. Yes.
By the way, as well, Jess, I am shocked you didn't think I would like Bathurst. You should know me by now. I'm a street circuit specialist. That's my speciality, is street circuits. My word.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I thought I would what you're used to in F1, you see. So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but yeah, thanks guys as well for commentating as per usual. You guys do an amazing job. So thank you. There we go then, ladies and gentlemen. Car Mentalist, double returning champion, and you could probably put folding money on about to be crowned the 3-time champion with a GT4 title under his belt as well. Joining us in the commentary box now, patiently he has been waiting after that flying performance on the track, the absolute personification of patience, race IQ and consistency. It's only his third race here at One Hub Racing, and it's his third race victory. Talk about bursting on to the scenes. It is once again on the top spot, pole position and race victory, this time doing it in an hour-long race in a track he said he hadn't had much practice on. It is Iris the Bulldog. Congratulations, Iris. That was once again an absolutely phenomenal drive. How did that go for you? Ah, Jess, of course. That's right. You know what? Wait 2 seconds. Iris, yeah, we won't be able to hear him unless we're in the waiting interview box because he's on a mobile phone. That's right, yeah, so I've just put him back in there. Let's go and jump back in. So yeah, come jump into the waiting interview box. And I will jump in. Iris the Bulldog, are you there? So if I get him to disconnect and then he rejoins, we'll be able to hear him. I just remembered that because Chromanix reminded me he has a similar issue. But there we go, he's joined in once again. Let's see if we can hear him. Are you there, Iris the Bulldog?
Yes, I'm here.
Yay!
There we go.
Hello.
Once again, I gave you the big intro and then completely forgot Alexander that we need to jump in here. But yeah, listen, congratulations once again. Debut start to the season. You just honestly don't think you could have asked for better. 3 races into your One Hub Racing season, you find yourself on the top spot of the podium. This time after an hour at Bathurst. No mean feat in itself. How was that race for you?
Thank you very much. It went well. I found my pace early, and then I can do a consistent lap with consistency.
Yep.
It was fine. I had an incident though with a GT4.
Okay. I don't think we caught that actually. We didn't. This. Yeah, you were so far in the front. When was that? Was that before or after your pit stop?
Before.
Oh, okay. And did you get much damage?
No.
No.
No damage.
Oh, okay. Right. Okay. So yeah, because I was going to say if you were carrying damage and doing those kind of lap times, that is a frightening amount of pace. How did you find? So you did have one incident with the GT4s. How was the rest of the race as far as getting past the GT4s?
It was easy enough.
Yeah.
I didn't have any problems.
Good stuff.
They had perfect manners. Everything okay.
Good stuff. Yeah, glad to hear it. Did you expect before the race to be up at the sharp end of the grid? Was this a race win you were expecting?
Yes, I was expecting that.
Right, okay.
It's
Yeah, because
my favorite track.
right, you know what I was going to say. I bet I've got it the wrong way around. I know you mentioned Bathurst last week, but yeah, it is actually your favourite track. So yeah, that's right. So you were actually expecting to do well. So it was great pace you've shown as well, and I mean that really does put you in contention now for the championship. I mean it puts you on 60 points, and I believe puts you, I think 7 or 8 points off the championship lead going into the second half of the season.
That's good.
That's
good enough.
It certainly is. Jess, any questions for our GT3 race winner?
First of all, when will we stop winning? Joking.
He's definitely hoping that.
How hard has it been to adapt to a new league of drivers? Were you expecting to be up top this early on into your Run Hub Racing career?
No, I didn't expect that, but it was easy enough. I have more races to come. We will see.
Yeah, still a lot of track time ahead. That is for sure. And I know I asked you this last week, but is there any? Give us a quick rundown again. Out of the tracks that we've got left, is there any that you don't particularly like, or is there any that? Well, obviously Bathurst is your favourite. Any other ones up there on your radar as tracks that you really do well at?
I like Barcelona a lot, but Paul Ricard.
Oh yes, John loves that.
Love Barcelona.
But Paul Ricard is always difficult to find the pace to be in a hot lap mode. I don't know. There's something in Paul Ricard that doesn't suit me well.
Right. Okay. But to be fair, you could have the championship all tied up by then. So Paul Ricard could just be a nice little French Sunday drive for you by then. Who do you see as your biggest rival in the championship? I know you've only just joined. In fact, 15 points. You're fourth in the championship. You're 6 points behind Samba in third. You're 7 points behind Floppy Fox in second, and APX Rogue has a 15-point gap between you. It certainly is not with those 3 wins. Milden in fifth. So so you're only 15 points off the lead. That is not too shabby in accumulation, given that you're 2 races down on your competitor. So this one is going to be all kind of fun. And there is Carmental's confirmed. He's still the top of the GT4s. Bodal second. Arnold is in third, and those 30 points ahead of the rest of the field. So it's a 3-way battle there. So out of the rest of the field, obviously Rogue and Floppy Fox. He had quite the comeback drive. So which one out of Floppy Fox and APX Rogue do you think is going to get? Although Michael Gallo as well, actually, with that disconnection in the Bentley, he shows some pace in the comeback. So which one of those 3 do you think is going to give you the biggest challenge towards the end of the season?
I think they all are tough contenders because I see some people have cars that are not so easy to manage, like the Porsche in the Bathurst or the M6 that ERT Milden has.
Yep.
Those are very difficult cars to manage, to get a hot lap, to be fast. I mean, who knows? I think all of them. But
Nice.
certainly Apex Rogue in the first laps, it was just right behind me, and we had the same pace for 3 or 4 laps. So he definitely stressed me out a little.
Yeah, no, kept you on your toes. Yeah, certainly made it interesting view, and I would strongly recommend going back and watching the start of the race. The 3 of you, in fact, very, very, very close early doors. But yeah, it's good to hear that you rate the rest of the field as well. We'll certainly be looking forward to this one going right down the wire. Jess, any more questions for Iris?
Well, I've already answered all of them
Oh,
earlier. So,
excellent, excellent, good stuff, good stuff. Well, Iris, we will let you go and enjoy your third victory from week number 2. Congratulations once again.
Thank you very much.
Indeed, and yeah, 4th in the championship, only 15 points off the lead. Where can we go from here? Best of luck with the rest of the races, and I will definitely be cheering you on around my beloved Barcelona, my good man.
Thank you very much. Have a good night.
You too, bud. You too. Here we go, ladies
Bye-bye.
and gentlemen. Gt3, good night, Iris. Gt3
Good night.
Race Winner once again. Iris the Bulldog putting in an absolutely flawless performance. He's just said he was made to work for it in those first few laps of Rogue, stressing them out ever so slightly. Let's see if we can get some more drivers doing the same over the next few weeks, which I'm sure we will, given that it's Misano next week. That's certainly going to balance out the Ferrari and the Bentley, so that is going to be one to watch. But Jess, that is all we have time for this week. It's been an absolute pleasure being back in the commentary box with yourself. We said a couple of weeks ago on Twitter, it's been far too long since you and I were in the commentary box together, and there you go, the sim racing gods have seen fit to pop us back in, and yeah, the One Hub drivers are putting on an absolute show for the commentary team that they had here for them this week.
yeah, I had a lot of fun this week, despite all the server issues we had. Was a bit of a shame, but you're not going to be here next week, but good news. I'll be back in the commentary box, and I get to have Chromedix alongside me again, like I did in round 1. So
excellent, dream team.
That should be a lot of fun.
Absolute dream team. Absolute dream team. Speaking of dream teams, Mental Health Foundation, Next Level Racing, ERT, Vespertine, Free M Sim Racing, and SimGrid, all sponsors of the fine work done here by One Hub Racing. Get signed up onto all their socials. Big announcements coming soon for the F1 return. Make sure you keep your eyes out for
11th
that.
of March.
11th of March. I didn't want to throw a date. I was going to say the 13th.
11th of March is when the trailer's going to be launched.
Ah, okay. Oh, love it. Love it, love it. Just building the anticipation. So yeah, so make sure you get onto their socials and get yourself signed up and jump on YouTube. You can watch this race back. I know I'm about to with my tea, so you all enjoy. And yes, Jess will be back next week with Chromedix. Sorry, I thought I had something else to do. So see you all same time, same place next week. I will be on night shift, so I'll be watching while working away. You all enjoy, and we'll see if there's anyone out there that can derail the juggernauts that are Iris the Bulldog and Car Mentalist. Till then, dun, 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 indeed. Thank you all once again in the chat. You all stay safe, take it easy, and have yourselves a good night. Good night.
Bye.